In today's video, we're checking out these brand new display tanks here in Denmark at the Tropica headquarters. Look at this massive display tank, guys. Oh, and we have a special guest as well, so let's get started. So every 2 years, there's this massive trade show in Germany called Interzoo. And Tropica is well known for always having amazing display tanks on their booth. This year, Interzoo will happen in the beginning of May, so with only a few months to go, it's time to start working on the display tanks again. You ready?
Yeah.
So this man over here doesn't need any introduction, I think.
Hello, I'm George.
Your first appearance on my channel, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was on your channel
You've been on the
last year when I went over to your house.
You did, yeah.
But we didn't do anything for my channel.
Oh, okay. It's good to be on your channel. Thank you for inviting me.
I mean, it's hard to be in Denmark and not run into you.
Yeah, I'm here quite frequently. yeah.
Cool. So you were very much involved with all the creation process of all these tanks.
Yes.
So maybe we can just quickly go over every single tank in just a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
Talk about the materials that we use, some of the new plants.
Absolutely, it'd be my pleasure.
Okay, I'll grab the camera.
Cool.
Should we start with the Shellow?
Yeah.
What are the dimensions?
The dimensions of this tank, Mark, are 80 by 40 by 40 centimetres.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's a volcano kind of concept, so eventually we have some Altanantha rhynicii mini here. And then there's some, this is a brand new plant. This is rotundifolia blood red.
Blood red, yeah.
Yes. And then here we have Rotala hra. It's just been planted from one to grow.
Okay.
So it's not got its redness yet.
So eventually you will have different shades of red.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the idea is, this isn't the final lighting. We're going to use two Chihiros Vivid 2s on quite high intensity.
Yeah.
And then the idea is that hra is going to stay very low and kind of cascade over itself with regular trimming.
Okay.
And it will stay super low, almost like a carpeting Rotala.
Yeah.
And it will create the effect of lava running down the mountain.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we have Hemianthus cuba as a main carpeting. And then you may see some of the Areocaulon Vietnam.
Yeah, I love that plant.
Intermittently used.
Really nice.
We also have some Blixa japonica here, which is going to give us some quite nice bushy height around here and contrasts really nicely with the reds. And then one of my favourites is the Bucophalandra needle leaf.
Yeah, the tiny one, huh?
Yeah, it's very new.
I love that.
And I think there's some Marsolea for the shaded area. Yeah, Marsolea around here because it grows well in the shade.
The flow actually goes in between the rocks, right?
Yeah.
There's
And the actual reason for this wasn't originally aesthetic, it was actually as a supporting rock.
Yeah.
Because these tanks are going to be road moved from Denmark to Germany to Interzoo. And so it's really important that we fix all of the rocks, you know, very, very stable. Got some really strong glue. And the idea is obviously this, if for whatever reason the lorry comes to a sudden halt, you know, hopefully the hardscape and everything still remains intact. We're using black lava rock, which is relatively light.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Obviously, these are actually going to be, you know, manually kind of taken out of the lorry into the thing, so they you know, obviously they can't be too heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful tank. This was scaped by Carlos Sanchez from Pez Verde from Madrid in Spain, and I think he's done a great job.
Looks really good. Right, let's move on to the next one.
Cool. This one is a tank focusing mainly on our Aqua Decor products.
Aqua Decor, so
this is plants that have been grown attached to either lava stone or driftwood.
Yeah.
So these are mature plants. They've been attached to the decor anything between 3 and 6 months ago, and then they're sold to the customers as a mature kind of instant focal point. And the idea behind this tank is to showcase the Aqua Decor products and show that you can create an instant aquascape, very high impact. We've even got the suction cups here so you can actually stick it to your, you know,
those are cool.
Yeah, so it's just a different way to aquascape, especially suitable for beginners.
I really like this one, the
Pinnatifida and the moss.
The moss looks
so
so
that's
good.
My favourite. Yeah,
I love it.
All of the plants are easy category, actually, apart from the Pinnatifida. So ideal for beginner setups.
Yeah.
And for someone that doesn't quite know you know, don't want to necessarily go all in on hardscape and complex planting. They can create something very, very high impact, but very easy. We have carpeting plant. This is the Halanthium Tunnelinum Green. And there's actually some quadrique status in there as well. So this will be a very bright, vibrant green carpet, full carpet, contrasting with the Hakai stones here, and then showcasing the beautiful Aqua Decor.
I'm curious how this one will look in a few months from now.
Yeah, it should look good, hopefully.
Definitely.
These tanks are 100 centimetre by 50 by 50, so that's 250 litres. And they've actually got a built-in filter compartment at the back.
Yeah, I like that.
Making it, you know, quite a streamlined thing. No need for external filtration on these.
Yeah.
Lighting is Chihiros. We're using all Chihiros here on the Tropica booth.
Big fan of Chihiros as well.
Very grateful to their support. They've actually supplied these lights for us for use at Interzoo, so we're very grateful for their support.
And this is the WRGB
This
Pro?
is WRGB 2
Pro, probably.
I think so, yeah. It's all controllable by the app.
Yeah.
We're actually using a Senai Parwise to measure the lighting. So we're going to start. So just for some context, all these tanks escaped 3 months previous to the actual Interzoo show, where we showcase all of our products and all of our beautiful aquariums. So we need to make sure that they have the perfect startup, hopefully without any algae. So what we're doing is we're measuring the PAR, which is the photosynthetic active radiation. That's the amount of light that the plants can actually kind of use. And it's important that we have enough light to grow the plants, but not too much to grow algae. So with that in mind, we go for a measurement of 50, and that's micromoles per meter squared per second, if you wanted to be a bit geeky about it.
Yeah.
But we have this special device, we put it under the water, and then on the computer readout, we just adjust the lights to get the 50 PAR, which is very easy with the Chihiros, because you can just use the sliders on the app. So all of the tanks here will be started off on exactly the same light profile, no matter what the depth of the tank is. So we know we're getting exactly the same light at the same level, and we're just really trying to aim for that consistency throughout. So hopefully we get a trouble-free startup.
So, I mean, every single tank here will have the same light settings?
Yes.
Okay.
To start with. And then we can adjust it as required. So some tanks have got more advanced plants in than others. But just that initial kind of 2 to 4 weeks is such a crucial stage with an aquascape, as you know. Algae is very risky. So we're also going to add loads of shrimp as well. We're going to be doing daily big water changes for the first week or so. And yeah, fingers crossed we get a trouble-free startup, because if things start to go wrong early on, it's much harder to fix them later on.
Totally agree.
So this is a beautiful kind of classic nature aquarium, triangular style. This was scaped by Fabian Beck.
I love this one.
Known as Scapeling, very well known and talented German aquascaper, ranked number 11 in the latest IOPLC. And here we're showcasing our Bucophilandra species. We'll talk more about a special one on the final tank. But yeah, classic nature aquarium style, but we're using some real kind of interesting plants here. We've got a couple of Echinodorus in the back there. We've got some Bulbitis. We've got this really interesting Hygrophila here.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that one.
This is Hygrophila, and I forget the last name. I'll let you know, and you can put it in your description. But yeah, it's similar texture to the Bulbitis with the serrated leaves. I quite like it, but it's a fresh green.
Maybe a bit easier?
It is classed as an easy plant, I believe, and it is because of the surface area. You know, with the serrated leaves, you tend to find these are more efficient at photosynthesizing because they do have so much surface area.
Yeah.
I like the contrast. It's very bright green compared to the kind of darker green of the Bulbitis. Yeah. The wood is Redmore root. This will turn a much darker brown as it matures. We may get some biofilm and fungal build-up, which is very common with Redmore root.
One more question about that, that plant. Is it new in the assortment, or do you already have it?
It's going to be released at Interzoo.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's brand new. Yeah, we have the plants normally on test for anything up to a few years before they get put into production.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one will be released in the next few months or so.
Cool.
Yeah.
I really love the triangular composition of this one.
Yeah, it's a classic. I love a triangular. You can't go wrong with triangles.
Exactly.
Especially with a tank which is, with a rim. You've got it's framed really well. And the triangular, I think, really lends itself to that nicely. You've got the contrast, obviously, of the white finish and the black background.
Yeah.
We're using 100% Tropica aquarium soil with all of the tanks. This can be a bit of an issue with transportation because the soil is quite light and any kind of sudden movements can tend to shift the soil.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons we're going for like full carpeting everywhere.
Yeah.
And what happens is the roots actually help to stabilize the soil. They act as like a coherent kind of adhesive to stop that soil from shifting.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can see the other plant species. I think this is Monte Carlo here, very well known carpeting species. Then we have some more Helanthia and Tellalum green at the back. Some Blixa japonica just to the right of that. And this is one of my favourites that's been newly released. This is the Aerocaulon Vietnam. And that's actually, it actually grows in easy conditions, I find. I think it might be released as a medium category, but I've actually got it growing in non-CO2 and low light. So it's a real beautiful grassy texture.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, Aerocaulons are quite
Normally difficult, yeah, especially the stems, you know, the delicate stems, they normally require softer water, more CO2 and more light, but this is a real easy one. You know, it's nice to have something different to the usual, you know. It reminds me of an Acorus, which is more of a terrestrial plant, so you get this kind of terrestrial vibe to it, which I quite like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Should we do the final one? The big one?
Yes, this is the piston de résistance, as they say in France. This is 3 meters by 40 by 40 centimeters, so it's about 500 liters altogether. This was again scaped by Carlos Sanchez from Pez Verde in Spain. I think he's done a magnificent job. The overall concept is creating this wave formation with the wood. So if you follow the line of the wood here, starting all the way from the top, curves round here, and then you can follow it here, and then it goes up here, down here, and then up here again. So we've got this really nice kind of wave formation, and this is accentuated by the kind of linear planting of the Pinto and this beautiful Bucophalandra species.
Let's talk about that one for a second.
So this is actually Bucophalandra blue steel. Now, it's not actually called blue steel, but that's what I want to call it because it just reminds me of blue steel. And if you look at this leaf in particular, maybe, I'm not sure how it looks on your camera, Mark, but it has this beautiful metallic sheen. And as it matures and under decent lighting, it'll actually turn more of a blue tinge. And I think this is such a unique and novel Bucophalandra, quite a nice chunky leaf compared to like the Keddy Gang or the wavy green, and a really, really kind of glossy, beautiful finish. You've got some new growth here, which is red. That will gradually turn again like this metallic blue colour, or the blue steel colour.
So this one is brand new in the...
Brand new in the assortment. This will
already available, or?
No, it'll be available probably after Interzoo, so sort of May, June time. Yeah.
Cool.
Here we have.
Be getting some of that.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's going to be a real good seller, I think, and very popular with the hobbyists.
What is behind it? The green grassy plant?
This is a Juncus repens. So it's not very popular with aquascaping at the moment, but I really like the chaotic kind of growth pattern of it, and you can really kind of fill up background spaces quite nicely with it.
Yeah, I like to use it as well.
Yeah, you can trim it quite hard, and it grows really well. Yeah, just a nice natural vibe, you know, not too kind of ornamental, you know. Yeah, so that's lovely. This is Albedo Brown, I believe.
Looks like it,
Yeah. So this is a nice...
Another one of my favourites.
Yeah, this is really lovely, kind of a foreground, mid-ground crypt. Here we have the very unique and stunning Anubias Pinto. It's one of the many Anubias barteri mutations, in fact. So what happens is Anubias barteri tends to mutate itself quite readily in the greenhouse conditions, and occasionally it will become stable, meaning it won't go back to its original form. And when that happens, we can actually start propagating it and then putting it into production. And as you can see, this is a very kind of unique form of Anubias. It tends to need more lighting as it doesn't have so much chlorophyll. As you see, obviously the white leaves, I don't know if the viewers out there may know that chlorophyll is responsible for mainly the green part of the plant. So the chlorophyll actually is required to photosynthesize. So if you have less chlorophyll, you need more light to get that photosynthesis. So you'll need, generally speaking, the Pinto would need more light and probably more CO2 to really thrive.
I think light and CO2 is not really an issue here.
No.
I wanted to ask you about the setup, because I see 3 CO2 diffusers.
Yeah, we've got three Tropica diffusers in here, one towards the centre, one on the left, one on the right. We have a very powerful pump here on the left. This is pumping out around 5,000 litres per hour. But even so, because it's so long, we're not getting much circulation over to the right-hand side of the tank. So we actually have an external filter here on the right. And then it's really important with high-tech or high-energy aquarium that we get the CO2 distributed really effectively and efficiently around the whole aquarium. So that's why we've got the three diffusers. And then what we would normally do is add a drop checker, you know, at different positions, maybe even in the tank, to make sure we're getting a consistent and stable CO2 content throughout the aquascape.
What kind of like photo period and?
So we'd normally start off on a 6-hour photo period, and again using the par-wise, we'll make sure that we're hitting around 50 PAR at the base, and then as the tank matures and hopefully we don't have any algae issues or startup issues, we can gradually increase that light output depending on the plant conditions and what we want to achieve. And eventually you can go up to maybe PAR 150, even 200. You know, this would be brilliant for like plants that are red, that really benefit from that really high lighting. But as I said earlier, it's just really important for the startup phase that we avoid too much light because that will trigger algae issues. What we do is try to maintain right from the very start a stable CO2 level. So we're going to aim for 30 parts per million CO2 with all of our aquascapes here right from day one. We keep that absolutely rock steady throughout the whole 3 months leading up to Interzoo. And then the only thing we need to change then is either the lighting or the dosing of liquid fertilizers according to the tank's needs.
Sounds like a good plan. Is there any other plants that we need to focus on?
We do have some here. This is the Cryptocorini at the back here, a Finnish red, I believe.
Okay.
Sorry, what is it? Spiralist red, I apologise. So Spiralist red, this is beautiful. This has a really kind of nice green and red. I think it has is it the green running in the centre, then the red on the outside, or vice versa?
I think this will grow indeed like quite intense
light, yeah. So we're actually we've got 3 at the moment, but again, we're using Chihiros lighting. We'll be actually using 4. We're getting another one delivered. This is the Vivid 2 10th anniversary edition, which are magnificent, completely controllable, very powerful. We'll probably hang them a little bit lower to get some more coverage. And again, using the par-wise, we can ensure that we get, you know, a very kind of uniform PAR 50 at the bottom, and then we can gradually ramp it up as required. So jobs today, this is day 1, literally after planting. So at some point today, all of the tanks here will be water changed, at least 50%, probably more. As you can see, the water is a little bit tannin stained already from the wood. And the soil will be leaching excess nutrients, so we need to dilute all of that with large water changes, and we'll do that every day for the first week, and then probably every other day for the second week.
Okay, George, thanks for giving us a little tour of these brand new tanks. Obviously, we will see more of the
development.
The development, indeed.
Yeah,
in the coming weeks as we lead up towards Interzoo.
Absolutely. Yeah, keep an eye on my channel as well and the Tropica YouTube channel for updates. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for coming and filming us, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
Take care. Cheerio. Keep on scaping.